That's loud. Well, it's a good thing I've got this fancy little guy up here though, because I've got this fancy little guy that mounts to that little guy. And what do you say we shoot it now and see how that feels and sounds? Okay, let's do it. Ooh, now that is quiet. Let's talk about the HuxWrx Flow 556K. Welcome back, everybody. Clint today with Classic Firearms here at Take Aim Training Range, here to talk about some more quiet goodness. What I've got in my hands is something that I've been waiting for quite some time from our friends over at HuxWrx. And you might formerly know them as OSS or, OSS silencers or suppressors, but HuxWrx now, their rebrand, they're coming out with different, ultimately the same technology, but improved upon from their OSS line of silencers. And what we have right here is the Flow 556K. This is a dedicated 556 silencer, but if you wanted to, you can still run 22 and smaller center-fired cartridges, or 5.7, 17 HMR, things like that. So ultimately 5.56 and smaller. Now the body and actually the whole silencer is 3D printed. Again, this 3D printing technology that exists now is just incredible. It's 17.4 stainless steel. And one thing, because I shot some of their older suppressors when it was OSS, and I do remember them being heavier. This is weighing in at only 11.8 ounces at about 5.5 inches in length. And so far, the specs that are out there on this guy from independent sciencey guys like Pew Science, let's just say this is highly favored. This thing is really cool. I know the FBI has actually recently adopted this, the silencer. So if it's good enough for them, is it gonna be good enough for me? We're going to find out here in just a few. Minimal point of impact shift according to HuxWrx. Again, I haven't tested that out to greater distances. I'll be shooting out to 100 yards today. And I haven't actually shot this SCAR suppressed versus unsuppressed yet with the HuxWrx. We did test it just a little bit, make sure that we're all sighted in and everything while suppressed. So we're going to be taking the silencer off and then trying out their QD muzzle device as well. Now, a few of you are already looking like, I can't believe they're suppressing a SCAR. FN's going to lose their mind. Well, FN won't lose their mind. They're just not gonna, warranty it if anything goes wrong. Whatever, dude. I'm still having a good time. So what's really cool about this silencer is it's utilizing the flow-through technology, and you'll see. But I've shot like the Surefire SOCOM RC2, which is again a phenomenal silencer through this. And even though this is a short stroke piston driven gun that does a really good job at mitigating a lot of that gas back to the face, it still had a little bit more back pressure, a little bit more gas coming back into the system that is noticeable to the shooter. With this, because of this flow through technology, you still have all these gases that are being caught in the silencer to quiet it, but still escaping out front here. So the system has virtually, as far as I can tell, no additional gases coming back into the system or the shooter. Granted, I have to believe that there's some, right? There has to be a little bit more, and we'll be able to see that felt recoil once I shoot it suppressed versus unsuppressed here in just a moment. But the flow-through technology on this is a really cool design because, again, a majority, I'm going to say a majority of those gases are still escaping out the front of this thing, which is great because less gas back to the face, but also, well, let me just do this really quick. You'll notice it's actually got a left-handed thread pitch on it, and notice the orientation of those channels, those exiting channels for those gases. Well, what that does, it's actually self-tightening or self-torquing, right? Once you get this thing tightened on there, well, it's not going to come off with use, which could be a concern for other types of direct thread silencers, things like that. Once you get it tightened on there, the way the gases are escaping are actually torquing the silencer down even further. Again, cool technology. So just direct threads onto the muzzle device itself, and then once you're ready to remove it, just righty-loosey in this case, then it pops right off. But let's go ahead and let's just shoot this a little bit. Let's go ahead and run just about 5 or 6 rounds unsuppressed with this flash hider, see where our point of impact is. Again, I've got 2 targets at the 50 yard, 1 at the 100, and make sure my sight is on as well. So let's just take a couple of shots really quick. Let's just see here, we zeroed. There we go. All right, I know where I need to aim now. So now let's go ahead and let's just clear that guy out, and let's throw on the HuxWrx silencer. So what you guys will see here, I'm not even gonna tighten it. Like, I'm gonna put it down, barely hand tightening. All right, I have to get used to which direction. All right, so cool, so that is on there now. Like I said, it's pretty loose. Let's see what happens. Let's just take a couple of shots really quick. And let's just see where we're at here. Okay. Yep, that warmed up a little bit here. Can I, yeah, probably shouldn't have shot as many rounds as I did through it because that's kind of spicy now. But while I've got it there and I'm gonna let it cool off for a second, here's something to take into consideration. Since it's 3D printed, I am noticing that it's quiet, right? You know, just for fun. Let's do this one more time here. Screw the, let's just, so to my ears, there's, granted, I've already got tinnitus, so it's not like I'm noticing anything. But to my ears, this is actually very comfortable sounding. It's got more of like a deeper bass sound to it. It's not something that's really piercing, and I don't have the constant ringing or anything like that, at least right now. Later tonight, probably when I'm trying to fall asleep and when it matters. But one thing I can say is that's a lot partly due to the intricate design of the internals of this. Because it's one solid piece, and again, 3D printed, they can make all these complex designs. What you'll notice in like stackable baffle systems and things like that, or just different baffles from internal types of silencers, or the internals of different types of silencers, especially like the older designs, they can't be as complex. However, what's a downside to that? Probably keeping it clean. They say that clean your silencer about as often as you clean your gun. I've met me, and I can tell you right now, this is going to be a very, very dirty silencer. So I'll let you know when I get up to about 5,000 rounds, and we'll see how it goes. Now, with that though, I think there's some people out there saying, hey, 2,000 rounds, go ahead and clean it. So how do you clean it? Because since it is all self-contained, it's not like you can take it apart and clean the internals. No, it just, well, kind of like how I've cleaned like my Surefires and everything else. I've never cleaned my Surefire, but how you would clean like a Surefire or something like that. Take a bucket, take some solvent, dip it in there, let it soak, dry it out, and then typically like an air hose or something like that just to blow out whatever it might be. Easy enough. Now let's keep running this guy. Let's see here, actually. Yeah, it's still a little spicy. Screw it. Let's just keep running this and let's just see. Now notice how much gas is coming back to the shooter. Again, we might have some piston pop, something like that right up front. So we can take a look at gases escaping from 3 places. 1 right here at the muzzle, 2 right back here at the gas system, and then 3 right back here to the chamber. So let's just start at the muzzle and let's see what we got. I'm actually hardly noticing anything escaping to me. Granted, we got a little bit of tiny smoke there showing off, right? Yeah, you can't see that, I don't, oh, there it goes. All right, cool. Now, how about right back here at the piston, the gas system? Maybe I can fold this down some. I think I got that pretty tight. Oh, okay, there we go. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the actual, right here at the gas system. I'm just doing this so I can see. I'm noticing something right out the top here. Still very minimal. How about right back here? Let's just try it one more time, actually. Let's just see. Okay, and then let's try it right back here at the chamber. Not a whole lot of escaping smoke. You can still see some, and it's not like I'm taking my time with it either. I mean, I've already put at least, what, 40 rounds at least, if not 50 at this point through it. And it is shooting very, very well. Now, granted, the Scar 16, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about suppressing it the first time I shot it. Then my buddy Texas Planking was like, Clint, you gotta do it, man. You just gotta try it. And so, well, I did it, and I fell in love with shooting the Scar 16 suppressed. Haven't done the 17 yet for one of our giveaways or anything like that, but you know, stay tuned. Now, shooting it suppressed with the HuxWrx here, is definitely probably one of the most pleasurable shooting experiences I've had with a silenced rifle in my life. I am getting back no gas, no nothing, and you know what? I know, hey, do as I say, not as I do. To the shooter's face, I can keep my eyes open and not have to worry about tearing up or anything like that. Now, if Katie was out here shooting like she's done before, like the SIG Rattler, again, still a short stroke piston driven design, chambered in 300 blackout, but a much smaller system, so you got a lot more escaping gases. Granted, you're gonna get a lot more back to the face, and you'll see her start to tear up, even me if I didn't put my glasses on. So, but just for science there, I wanted to feel if I could notice anything back to the face, and I got absolutely nothing. The flow-through technology that they have on here, again, self-tightening, so you don't have to worry about this thing wobbling away from you or anything like that, even though it is just a threaded QD muzzle device. It's very impressive. It works really, really well. And I think I'm gonna finish this mag out, let it cool down, and let's see how hard it is to take this thing off once it cools down some. Very flat shooting was that on there too. Hey, if you haven't invested in a silencer yet, you should, and this might be the one you want to do it. Buy the suppressor. Now, for the shooter's experience, the SCAR 16 with the Flow 556K, incredible, as you guys have already learned, all right? So really quick too on this guy, I've already talked about how it's 3D printed, intricate designs, kind of traps those gases from going anywhere until it's calmed down enough and they start escaping out the front here, right? So again, that is torquing down, tightening the silencer even furthermore on those left-handed thread pitch threads. Cool. You'll notice on the bottom of the silencer, or at least how it's oriented here, we do have all of your silencer information and then also your directional for which way to loosen and tighten, lock or unlock the silencer. So it's telling me that I need to go like that way to take it off. And it's only been like 5 minutes and it is, it's still pretty spicy. All right, so let's just go ahead and grab my little tactical oven mitt and let's see if I can get this thing off of here, which, okay, it is definitely still, come on magnifier, make sure I don't, I'm going the right way, right? Let me double check again. Yeah, so remember how I said I barely, okay. So remember how I said I barely tightened it and just started running with it? Well, you don't need to apply much force because it's self-tightening. Now granted, once this cools down a little bit and this a little bit of grip texture that they have on the silencer might come in to help, but once this cools down, I'll be able to get it off of there. So with that being said, let's give it a couple more minutes and be right back. So it's been about 30 seconds, so that's like good enough, right? There you go. Yeah, that's fine. We're getting there. Okay. Cool. Now let's see where we're at here. All right. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Make sure we're going the right way again. There it is. Boom. To get a grip on it. I still wanted to go the wrong way. Yeah, we're good. So there it is for you. Easy enough. Oh, all right. The HuxWrx Flow 556K silencer. This has been absolutely one of the best silencers I have personally shot to date. Will it be replacing my Surefire SOCOM RC2 that I currently have on my Mark 18? I think what we'll do actually is a video comparison. I still have a Mark 18 pistol, I have my Mark 18 SBR, ultimately the same freaking gun. So let's go ahead and drop this on the Mark 18 pistol versus my RC2 on my Mark 18 SBR. Is that a video you guys would like to see? I'm gonna do it anyway, but I just wanna hear from you guys down in the comments section if it's something that you wanna see. I guess it doesn't matter because I'm doing it anyway. So that will be a pretty interesting video. Why, you might be asking though, if you're unfamiliar with the Mark 18, would I want to do that comparison? The 5.56 cartridge needs at least, personally in my mind, 12.5, 16-inch barrel like what you see here on the SCAR, 20-inch barrel like it was originally intended for. It's a fast-moving cartridge that was designed to have all of its gases spent after about 20+ inches. Well, you're literally cutting that in half with a 10.3-inch barrel out of the Mark 18, so you have a lot of escaping gases that still aren't really fully burnt out. And if this can, if this can withstand that and also perform better possibly than the Surefire, that'll be interesting to see. So again, let me know what your thoughts are going to be down in the comment section below, your future little hypothesis on that. And yeah, stay tuned for that video. With all that being said, however, I mean, we're pretty cool with HuxWrx. What if we just gave this away too? Yeah, well, stay tuned. We got giveaways every single week. So head on over to ClassicFirearms.com to get your entries in for our current giveaway, which, by the way, utilize the code word you see at the bottom of the screen right now to get yourself a couple hundred extra entries. Don't miss out on that. And as always, we appreciate you and your business. God bless, and we'll see you next time at ClassicFirearms.com.